In the quiet little town of Meadowbrook, nestled between rolling green hills and a sparkling river, lived a young woman named Elara. She wasn't like the other folks in town who were content with their earthly lives. Elara's gaze was always turned upward, towards the endless expanse of the sky. She was a dreamer, and her most cherished dream was of a castle in the clouds. Every day, she would lie in the soft grass, watching the fluffy white clouds drift by, imagining what it would be like to live in a palace made of mist and sunlight, floating high above the world. She drew pictures of it in her sketchbook, a magnificent structure with towering spires that pierced the heavens and gardens filled with flowers that shimmered with dew. Her friends would gently tease her, telling her to keep her feet on the ground. But Elara's heart belonged to the sky. She collected feathers that fell from passing birds, believing each one was a tiny message from her castle, a promise of a world she had yet to discover. One afternoon, as the sun began its slow descent, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, something extraordinary happened. A tiny, glowing object, no bigger than a teardrop, drifted down from the heavens. It spiraled gently through the air, leaving a faint trail of golden light, and landed softly in the palm of Elara's outstretched hand. It wasn't a feather or a lost star fragment. It was a seed, but unlike any she had ever seen. It pulsed with a warm, gentle light, humming with a quiet energy that seemed to resonate with the deepest desires of her heart. Elara knew, with a certainty that settled deep in her soul, that this was no ordinary seed. This was magic. This was a gift from the sky she had so long admired. Without a moment's hesitation, Elara rushed to her small garden behind her cottage. She found the perfect spot, a patch of earth that caught the first rays of the morning sun and the last light of dusk. With gentle hands, she dug a small hole and placed the glowing seed inside, covering it carefully with soil. She watered it not just with water from her well, but with all the hope and dreams she had nurtured for years. She sat by the spot long into the night, the seed's faint glow now hidden beneath the earth, wondering what marvel it would bring. She could feel a strange connection to it, a sense of anticipation that made her entire body tingle. The world felt different now, charged with possibility, as if the line between her dreams and reality had started to blur. When she woke the next morning, she couldn't believe her eyes. Where she had planted the seed, a slender green sprout had pushed its way through the soil. But this was no normal sprout. It was already several feet tall and shimmering with the same ethereal light as the seed. As she watched, it grew. It grew and grew, reaching higher and higher with astonishing speed. It wasn't just a plant. It was a living ladder, a vibrant, shimmering beanstalk that twisted and spiraled upwards, its thick leaves unfurling like giant iridescent fans. It climbed past the treetops, past the hills, and kept going, disappearing into the thick, white blanket of clouds above. It was a pathway, a bridge between her world and the one she had only ever dreamed of. Her heart pounded in her chest, a drumbeat of excitement and a little bit of fear. The sky was calling her. Taking a deep breath to steady her nerves, Elara began to climb. The beanstalk was surprisingly sturdy, its surface smooth and cool to the touch. With each handhold and foothold, she felt a surge of energy, as if the magical plant itself was helping her on her journey. She climbed for what felt like hours, the world below shrinking into a patchwork of green and brown. She rose through the cool morning air, the wind whispering secrets in her ears. The higher she went, the thinner the air became, but she felt no fatigue. She was fueled by pure adrenaline and the promise of what lay ahead. Finally, her head broke through the soft, damp layer of the clouds. She blinked, her eyes adjusting to the brilliant, unfiltered sunlight. What she saw stole her breath away. There it was. Floating serenely on a vast, solid-looking cloud was a castle. It was more magnificent than anything she had ever imagined. more beautiful than any picture she had ever drawn. Its walls were crafted from pearlescent material that shifted in color from pink to gold to pale blue. Towers of pure, solidified light reached towards the sun, and intricate bridges made of woven starlight connected different parts of the grand structure. Waterfalls of sparkling mist cascaded from floating gardens, where flowers bloomed in colors that didn't exist in the world below. It was her castle, the castle from her dreams, brought to life in stunning, breathtaking detail. It was silent, peaceful, and utterly magical, waiting just for her. With her heart soaring, Alara swung herself from the top of the beanstalk onto the soft, springy surface of the cloud. She took a tentative step, then another, walking towards the castle's grand, arched gateway. The air was sweet and fresh, filled with the scent of unknown blossoms and clean rain. As she stepped through the gate, she found herself in a vast courtyard paved with polished moonstones. A fountain in the center sprayed jets of liquid light high into the air, creating a constant shimmering rainbow. She wandered through enormous halls with ceilings so high they seemed to be the sky itself, their walls adorned with tapestries woven from cloud silk. She walked through libraries where the books had covers of stardust, and the pages whispered ancient stories when opened. She discovered a grand ballroom where motes of light danced in the air like fireflies, waiting for music to begin. She found a throne room, not with a throne of cold gold and jewels, but one carved from a single luminous cloud, soft and inviting. Every room, every corridor, every detail was a testament to a magic purer and more wonderful than she could have ever conceived. This wasn't just a castle. It was a living, breathing piece of wonder. As the sun set, casting long golden rays through the crystalline windows, Alara stood on a balcony, looking out over a sea of clouds. The world she knew was far below, a distant memory. Here, in her castle in the sky, she was home. Her impossible dream had not only come true, it had surpassed all her wildest imaginings. And she knew, as she smiled at the stars beginning to appear around her, that this was just the beginning of her new adventure. Thank you for watching our story today. If you enjoyed Alara's magical journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more enchanting tales.